lovelies, it's Rebecca Rogers, aka Miss Rogers, and as you guys know, last month I was in California for a good amount of time, and while I was there, I met some of the most amazing people who just so happen to also be content creators. So I thought I would ask them what are the silliest school memories they've ever had. Before we get started, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell down at the bottom so that you can be notified of our next shenanigans. And without further ado, I asked some of my content creator friends in California what are the funniest school memories you've ever remembered.
I once had someone steal my milk, and then they passed it around, and then they gave me back a fake milk that was empty, and I threw it down on the ground, and then they swapped it with a real milk, and I stomped on a real milk in the school cafeteria. It was very funny for everyone except me.
Who had to clean it up?
I definitely did not, because I was at the principal's office.
Oh no!
I once got suspended from a your mom joke because I didn't know what your mom jokes meant, and I just knew that it was funny to add your mom after everything. So the teacher asked, "Hey, did you do your homework?" And I said, "No, but I did your mom." And then I was sent to the principal's office, and then I was no longer allowed to take Spanish class anymore, so I transferred to Italian.
Do you know Italian to this day?
I do not.
Oh no.
I know no languages besides, and I barely know English, to be honest.
When I was in school, we had this game where we would go around, it was called Assassin, and we would go around all of our buddies to assassinate each other. And my buddy TJ is a big guy. He's like 6'3", 350. And so at one point he like dove into a classroom, and the whole thing was if you threw a pencil and hit him, you were dead for the hour. And he dives into a classroom, throws a pencil, hits me directly in the chest, and then lands on top of a table, and the table just gives out.
Oh,
and so it just explodes, and our teacher goes, "What are you doing?" And the teacher just goes, "Winning," and turns around and runs away. So that was a beautiful moment.
I mean, this isn't funny, it's kind of sad, but just the fact that I did musical theater all through high school, and I was casted as a man in every single production. Would never audition as a man.
Lowe's. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay, continue, go ahead.
It would just happen. So my junior year, I played a man named Andrew Carnes in Oklahoma because I was a man again, and I wore a giant prosthetic belly to give the appearance of a fat man. We pretended that I was actually a woman who was pregnant and giving birth. So that was my backstory. And on the last night of the final show, I had a birth where we found a little baby doll and made it a big cast celebration of the birth of my child.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Funny story from school. On my first day of school, high school, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know any of the students. I walked into my first class. It was a math class, and the teacher used to babysit me when I was little. And in front of everyone, she just goes, "Oh, Rosanna, I used to change your diapers." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." It was really funny. It was embarrassing, and it was a good conversation starter, but super embarrassing.
Hi everyone, I'm Taylor Ann Tracy, and this is one of my most embarrassing school stories. So I went to high school in 2009 when wearing baggy shorts was the only way to tell who was popular. Like, around your ankles baggy. Okay, maybe not that much. I could never sit still, so I had to sit in the back of the class so I wasn't a distraction to the other students. Now the classroom supplies was also located in the back of the classroom in little drawers and cubbies. One day we were doing a project that required markers, which were located directly behind me. If you've already figured out where this story is going, I'm sorry. Me, hyper-focused on my art, reached back for another marker without looking. At this time, one of the popular boys had walked up behind me to also grab some markers. We both screamed like little girls when I grabbed something similar, definitely not a marker. Luckily, nobody saw. We never talked to each other again, and he learned to pull his pants up.
Okay, so I'm somewhat of a gullible person, and I was in college, and I was working in some events, and we had a lot of butterfly themes everywhere. And I heard this very weird story about monarch butterflies. So I'm seeing all of them, and I just go up to the event manager, like, "Why do we have monarchs? Aren't they like bloodthirsty?" And they were just like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, monarchs apparently feast on blood of things." And I was just like, they looked at me as if I had like 20 heads, and I did not understand why. But then they're like, "No, that's not the case." And so I felt very lost in my life because for so long I believed monarchs drank blood. And
Monarch butterflies?
monarch butterflies. I swear, there's something about them drinking blood, and or like something of that sort. And it just blew my mind hearing that I was like, not that I was wrong, but like that I was told this thing and believed it so long to be like, okay, nope, that's not the case, and I just made a fool of myself. Bye, world. I'm gonna go jump now.
All right, so funny school story. I think it was 6th grade, and I'm sitting in the back of geography class, which is just not exciting at all. So naturally, when I get bored, I start playing with things. So I took a piece of paper and I folded it up into like one of those old paper wasps, like you do. And then I took my old accordion folder. Some of you have had the accordion folder, you know, with the little bungee cord that loops it in. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I took the wasp, put it around the bungee cord, and pushed the accordion folder off the desk. So it's like bouncing off the side of my desk, and I'm just pulling it back and bouncing. When you're bored, anything is fun. All of a sudden, I pulled back too hard, and it slid out, and it shot to the front of the room and whizzed by my teacher's head and nicked his ear, and then slammed into the whiteboard behind him. And I don't know that I've ever been that scared in my life. And I like just froze. I was like, that was not intentional. And naturally he turns like detention, come in after class, whatever. So I come back in and I was like just paranoid because I was like, I just shot the teacher in the wasp, or shot the teacher in the ear with a wasp. And he came over and I explained, I was like, look, I was bored. I was doing this. It slipped out, nothing personal. And luckily he's like, you know what? I did something very similar. I talked about you shot a rubber band and hit the teacher in the face. He's like, so you know what? Get out of here. Mistakes happen. Whew. That was a relief. But yeah, one of my funnier moments. It's not the only time I've gotten in trouble at school on accident, but it's one that I can remember. It was a long time ago.
Hi, hello. Jess here. Most people know me by Olivia Van Foxface online. My most embarrassing school story, or craziest school story, I'll try to sum it up as fast as I can. So I was in AP English in high school, which is Advanced Placement English, and it was a really small school, small group, and it was very kind of, everybody tells about their feelings, and we talked a lot, and everybody came in, and especially me in high school, it was a little bit much for me, but it was a nice little tight-knit group in this class. And I had a couple other friends in there, and we had an assignment, and we had a group assignment, and the four of us were working on our assignment together, and we had a question, and the teacher was one of those teachers that was like very open. Call me anytime, any question you have, so we call her, and she wasn't there. The answering machine went off, and it was one of those answering machines that seems like someone's there when they're not, and so our friend started talking to the answering machine. She said, hello, and started talking to it, and then realized it was an answering machine, and then hung up really quickly, and we all laughed at her because she didn't notice it was a machine, and she thought it was a real person. Went on with our day, went to class the next day, and it doesn't take very long for the teacher to come in, and she's very distraught, and she's very upset, and we're all very confused, and she says, you know what, class, like I have to tell you what happened, I have to tell you this, I can't get through the rest of this class without saying something, and she proceeds to tell us that someone called her house last night and proceeded to prank call and make fun of the exchange student that was staying with her for, I'm not sure exactly how long it was, I think an extended period of time, because they had an accent and they wanted to do the answering machine, and so she thought somebody had called to purposefully laugh because we apparently did not hang up the phone like we thought we had, and so we were just laughing at my friend because she didn't realize she was talking to an answering machine. We had no idea she had an exchange student, and honestly didn't notice an accent or anything about the voice. It was more so just the fact that she laughed, like that she didn't realize there wasn't a real person there. Anyway, no one in my class, now I feel horrible. She's crying, I can't believe anybody would do this, this is so disrespectful. I'm sitting over there, I'm looking at all the people, like all the other girls like in my group, and they're just shaking their head, and I'm like, we can't just like let this go. Like this person feels so bad that they thought we were making fun of them, and I can't like can't live with myself. And so I like sheepishly, in the middle of her story, raised my hand and explained the whole story, and thought it was gonna be one of those things where she was like, thanks for saying something. oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Thanks for speaking up, and we would apologize, and everybody would go back to normal, and I was wrong. It seemed like she didn't believe me, even though it was 100% true. I felt horrible. The rest of the class was very awkward, and I ended up transferring to a different English class.
When I was in high school, my friend, he's a zucchini farmer, his like family is, so he brought in like 25 zucchinis to school one day, and we didn't know what to do with them because we weren't going to eat 25 zucchinis. And so after school in the parking lot, we handed them out and threw them to people like as they were driving by in their car. And there was a guy probably going like 35 miles per hour, and we had a zucchini, and he like rolled down his window, we threw it at him, and he caught it.
That was some of your favorite content creators and the silliest school memories that they remember from their childhood. But I hope you guys loved them as much as I loved them. They're some of my favorite humans that I've met, and I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell down at the bottom. And if you liked me getting stories from other content creators, let me know, because I'm gonna be going on lots of other trips throughout this year, and we'll see a lot of them along the way. Let me know down in the comments anyone that you recognize or anyone who you're like, whoa, I really like their story. And also let me know of future content creators that you want me to try and meet and get stories from. You know I like to keep you guys involved. Definitely let me know. You know I love to read your feedback, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, my lovelies. Mwah!